morning. I am in LA. I'm currently on Ogden off of Santa Monica Boulevard. Santa Monica Boulevard, literally right behind me. You might not be able to see it, it's too bright. But I'm on Santa Monica Boulevard because I just went to have breakfast at Breakfast by Salt Secure. I was here last time. Pretty funny because when I was getting the receipt, it asked if I wanted to have it emailed to me, and I just said yes, and it remembered my email address. So I've definitely been there before. As for what I'm doing here, it's the weekend of Blackpink in LA, and they have a concert tonight. I'm not going to that one, but they'll also have a concert tomorrow night, which I am going to, and then I'll be going home on Monday. So today is Saturday, but I am down here early to go see some stuff, do some things. I think I'll just make this one long vlog. So it just starts off, got up super early at 5:30, get to the airport for a 7 o'clock flight to LA from SFO. And that was pretty smooth. At SFO, I found out that the car I rented, if I wanted to actually have the car at the airport, there was going to be an extra $100 charge, and the car I'm renting, it's not even like $100, so it would literally be more money to have the car delivered than it is to actually rent the car. I just didn't think that was worth it. But that being said, I'm using Turo for the first time as well, and I met up with the guy. Super cool, super chill. Got a cute little Fiat 500, similar to what I drove in France, and it was purposeful because I wanted to be fine, or I wanted to have easy access to parking, and it was dirt cheap. Like I said, it was $100 for 3 days, unlimited miles, which is kind of cool. And then I went to go get breakfast at, like I said, Breakfast by Salt Secure, and I got the pink apple lady, I think it was, or apple lady. It was delicious. Those pancakes, just to die for, like a definite good reason to come here. I am now debating on whether I want to go to the Grove or Rodeo Drive. They're both right next to here. I got plenty of time before anything that I got to do. Check-in is at 3, so yeah, we'll see what happens in a moment here. I forgot to mention, I did get a cup of coffee walking back to the car from a place called, I think it's Farm to Cup or Farm Cup, and it's really nice. It was cute. It was like a little food truck inside of a building. I only have a photo of it. They were actually quite busy, so I didn't want to like stand around filming there. There was people all over the place. They had seating outside and just the cute little food truck on the inside. You'd order. I should also say that when I was ordering, their system crashed twice on me, so it looked like I had no idea what I was doing, and I was standing there forever waiting. Anyhow, yeah, now on to either the Grove or Rodeo Drive. We'll see what happens in a moment here. Welcome back, and I have made it to the Grove. Thinking about it, I'll probably go to Rodeo Drive next, but I am upset that I never brought Lynn or Mom here. This place is amazing. High end, yes, but all the same, like still just fantastic. They have all this Christmas stuff going on right now, and right next to the Grove is the original farmers market, which that was amazing. Like they had a chili or a hot sauce shop. That was awesome. And that's amongst the many different restaurants and shops that they had going on there. It was intense. Like it was awesome. It was so good. And then just walking down the main Grove path, I guess, it was like really high end, and you could kind of see like all the nicer shops, and you know, with a splash of like kind of just regular old, like what you'd see in a regular mall type shop. But just walking through the area, they have all these like unique old type of like buildings, like a gasoline stand that was pretty awesome. Since it's Christmas, they have I think it's a Santa Claus house, so that you can go take photos there. It's not open yet. They also are setting up a stage for some sort of stage play or whatnot, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna go check it out a little bit more, and then I'll check back in a moment. All right, welcome back. I am walking back to the car. They're doing sound checks at the Banc of California Stadium. It's super loud. Definitely gonna need the earplugs. But I came today to grab swag or merchandise and have successfully purchased merchandise. I was kind of worried that I was gonna have to pay $50 for parking, but ended up I don't have to worry about that because I actually found parking right across the street from the stadium for free. So people are starting to show up in droves though. Kind of weird to be leaving. I think the show's gonna be cracking. Like, it sounds really good from the outside of the theater or the stadium. I wonder how good it's gonna sound from the inside. So anyhow, just a quick check-in. There was actually no one in line for the merch, so it was actually really quick in and out. I'm gonna go check into the hotel now, so figure out what I'll do afterwards. Anyhow, check back in a moment. All right, and real quick check-in. So I went to the hotel, and I was a half an hour early for check-in. Check-in's at 3, and I got there at 2:30. They wouldn't let me check in, so I decided that maybe I could do a late check-in. He said that was fine, and I came out to Little Tokyo, where I figured I could go see Kinokuniya to see if they had any Shishinshu that I was looking for, or photo books, which they didn't. And then I went to a K-pop store, one that I've actually ordered stuff online from and had delivered. And they had an Idol light stick, so I went ahead and grabbed one. But after that, I stopped off at Honeybee for a quick honey affogato, and now I'm walking back to the car because I'm pretty sure that my time is up, and if I don't move soon, I'm gonna get a ticket. So gotta get back to the car, but it's right across the street. Anyhow, now I gotta figure out what to do for dinner. Anyhow, I'll check back in a moment. All right, and welcome back. I am in my hotel room. I wonder how bad the echo is. And oh, it's pretty bad. I was about to say, I think that's the best lighting. It might be here. Yeah, not really. Huh. Maybe I was standing in the best area for light. So, lots of things have happened since I last checked in at Japantown. I was able to get a G Idol light stick, like I said I did. I went and saw all the different kind of like merriments. You know, everything's going Christmas right now in Japantown, so that was really cool. After that, it was kind of like a decision of what to do for dinner. And I was deciding that I was going to go to Lao Shi Noodle House, where we got the really good dumplings and noodles. But I changed my mind to hold that off until Monday so that I could bring some home to Lynn and Colt. That still left me with a gap of what to do. And so as I was sitting in the car with the time expiring for my meter, I made the executive decision to go to Sujita, LA, for their ramen, which is, or moreover, their tsukemen, which is pretty famous. And doing that might not have been the best choice. Like, people were leaving quite a bit left. Now, they did give very generous portions. For $17 or $18 per bowl, I think it was a good match. But that being said, there was a definite reduction in quality. So they went with quantity over quality, and that's kind of like a shame in my opinion, because they no longer, I felt, were holding up like a really high-end tsukemen. Like, the broth came out, it was lukewarm, it wasn't as tasty as it should be. The noodles, although they were cold like they should be,
all the items that typically you put into the broth were already in there soaking for you. So it was pretty much just deconstructed ramen. All you had to do was add the ramen noodles into it. And it was like, that's things like that I could live with, whatever. But then the flavor, it just wasn't astounding. It wasn't anything special. Like, I would have rather gone to Ramen Dojo or Orenchi's in San Jose or San Ramon. Or not San Ramon, San Mateo. Because of that, it was just a okay meal. Now, I will say, funny enough, I did pay $1 for parking in that area. It's called Little Osaka. So their Japantown area over here is called Little Tokyo, and then this other area that has a ton of Japanese restaurants is called Little Osaka. And I ate at the Annex. It's the same restaurant just across the street. So maybe I should have just eaten at the actual restaurant. When I got there, there was no line. I just knew the Annex, so I just walked up and easily stepped in. Yeah, finishing dinner, I then was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to check in again at my hotel, which I'm staying at the Santa Fe Inn, and it's definitely in a rougher neighborhood. That's for sure. I don't know if the music is coming through, but there's blaring music outside right now. I think I'll be fine. I'm way too tired currently. It's why I decided to come home rather than go do anything else. The check-in process was crazy. So I've already paid for this room for 2 nights in totality. Like, everything's done and paid for, but they wanted $100 in a cash deposit, which was not written anywhere on their site or anything. And I mean, I can understand having like a credit card on file for the room, but to not let you have a room because you don't have cash was like a shocker to me. I was like, I don't know what to do. And the guy was also like, he had my reservation wrong. There was a lot going on there, but it's like he called a few people, management, I assume, and they're just like, just charge it to his card and then we'll return it when he leaves on Monday. So yeah, that happened. And then I'm staying in room 228. You'll see that in a moment here. We'll do a quick room tour. But this is kind of the second time now where I've been in LA, and like within a month, where I'm like, wow, the quality of hotels here are just subpar. Like, it must really be hard to make it here in LA. Like, I've been to a couple of hotels in San Francisco and they're nowhere near this bad. It's hard to say that, and then again, like, look at the fact that the average price of a hotel in San Francisco per night is like $350, whereas that's more than twice the total that I paid for this hotel in totality, or this inn. But let's go ahead and do the room tour. I'm gonna actually swap. I'm using the Insta360, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap that around real quick, and then I'll be back. Alright, so this is the room. There's actually a deck right behind me with a ton of people on it, so they must think I'm looking pretty crazy with this. But straight into the room, we have our TV and a dresser. And then this is actually the leftover ramen from Tsuja, or the tsukemen from Tsuja that I couldn't finish. And then, I did stop by McDonald's to grab a drink so I could have a cup of ice, to go with either the water that I bought right there, or I do have some sodas in the fridge. But back to the room, we have a queen size bed. The queen size bed is actually pretty comfy, so it's kind of a bonus. That light is pretty wonky right there, so we'll see what's going on with that. And then we have the desk area. I have my phone charging currently. There's my iPad. A just regular desk, nothing really all too special. We do have two of these nightstands. One there, one over there. That one has the phone on it, and then this one has the clock and my camera. One kind of nice thing is there is a microwave in this room, so I can warm up my ramen again, and a fridge, which like I said earlier, I have my sodas in there, and then I'll put the ramen in there as well. This towel is the one that I'm using for this vanity over here. There's nowhere to actually put the towel unless I want to hang it maybe in the closet. I don't know. But we have a nice mirror in the vanity, and then we have the bathroom, which is nothing all that special. The toilet's actually slanted, so it's actually leaning to the right, which is kind of weird. And then your standard shower. So, yep. Nothing too special, and I think that was pretty much it. So, yeah, just making one last check. And so, okay, and like I said, behind the door right now, there's actually a large like area where people could picnic or eat dinner or whatever, and it is dinner time, so there's a ton of people out there eating. Okay, and so that's really the room. Not much to say about it. I mean, I could sleep here. Anyhow, I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and just start to laze about. I don't really have any other plans for the night. I am gonna watch a couple of Netflix things because I want to do a little research on stuff that I want to go see. But yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
Good morning. It is the day of the concert. Concert's at about what? I think it starts at 8. It's about 11:30 right now. So a little over 8 hours from now. Although I'll be there a little early because I think I'm just gonna park there. I don't know if I should trust public transit to get to and from there. It's the only thing I'm worried about. I'll just eat the cost. Kind of sucks, but anyhow, I am on the 5th Street Viaduct, and it goes over a set of train tracks and to the Los Angeles Aqueduct. Funny enough, the next bridge over is the 6th Street Viaduct. That's the one that's been having all the problems with people racing and doing donuts on. But this bridge has been used in so many movies, I just wanted to come walk across it once. And I pretty much have successfully done so. Not that difficult, and the cool thing was, it was less than 3 miles away from my hotel, so it wasn't hard to get to, or less than 4 miles from my hotel. I think it was 3.9 to be exact. As of the hotel, man, they tried really hard. Like, they really are like stretching it by saying it's a 2-star hotel. There's no way that this place is more than a 1-star hotel. It was so loud last night. I just had no idea what was going on as to why that sound was just, it was like almost like 3-4 concerts going on. There was like racing, but I know I'm not in a good part of town, but still, I was hoping that it'd be a little quieter. Luckily, I was super tired, so that wasn't all that difficult to to fall asleep. Anyhow, I actually don't know what I'm gonna do next here. I might go to Dollar Hits for some lunch. I think that's where I'm gonna try to go get lunch at. Or I might go make my revenge trip to Rodeo Drive, like I said I wanted to do. But anyhow, I will check back in a moment here after getting a few more photos. Alright, welcome back. And I am finishing up my time here at Rodeo Drive. I'm going through the most popular portion of it right now. It's pretty loud. It's like full of people. It's quite cracking here. And they really do have their Christmas decorations going up in November, but looks pretty amazing. This area, like another place I'm kind of wondering why I didn't bring Mom and Lynn here. Like, I'm pretty sure they'd enjoy walking it. It in a weird way, it reminds me of part of Busan in Korea, or maybe Busan reminds me of this place. But yeah, it's just full of high-end places like Balenciaga, Louis Vuitton. There are 2 Louis Vuitton stores that I saw here. There's Chanel, Hermes. It's just full of of just high-end places, and it's really clean. There's 2 wedding photography events going on right now here. It looks like they might have walked off. This is the second time that I've been walking over here, but yeah, it's been amazing. Like, this whole area is just so different from where the hotel is that I'm like in shock. I've seen so many like supercars or like race cars here. It's insane. And like right here at the entrance is Ramoa, which is that super high-end luggage company from a German airplane designer from World War II, if I recall correctly. Anyhow, this is about it here for me. I have about 15 minutes left on my parking meter, so I got to get back to it. But I'm actually kind of curious what to do next. I'm not all too hungry, unfortunately. So I was gonna go to Dollar Hits after this, but maybe that's a blessing because Dollar Hits is actually like $1 per stick. And so since I'm not that hungry, I could just go grab a snack there and then maybe grab something else for an actual lunch later. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But anyhow, we'll go ahead and check back in a moment. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. There's not much time before the concert or before I have to start heading out towards the concert. So we'll check back in a moment. All right, so I made it to Dollar Hits. Unfortunately, they're not open yet. Google says they're open, but they're not doing the barbecue just yet. It's not prepped, it's not ready. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do next. This kind of sucks. I was hoping to eat here. It's about 3 o'clock. I took way more time than I thought I was going to in order to get here, but oh well, we're gonna have to figure out something. We'll check back in a moment. Good afternoon. It's been a little while since I last checked in. I believe I last checked in prior to the concert. I don't even know if I got to the point that I went to BCD Tofu House for dinner last night, and it was good. Like, what was funny is after I left the Dollar Hits, because they were prepping still. I want to say closed, but they're actually prepping, so they weren't actually closed. I went to the BCD Tofu House that was closest to Dollar Hits, because Dollar Hits is actually just right outside of Koreatown, and I just figured, sure, why not? I'll go get some tofu soon. And the first one I went to, it was actually, they were packed. There was like an hour wait to get in. So deciding against doing that, I went to the other BCD Tofu House, which is just around the corner, like a 4-minute drive, I think it was, some crazy thing. And they were nowhere near as packed. And I was able to sit down right away, get my kimchi tofu soon, and enjoyed my meal before heading on over to the concert venue. Now, the only thing that I had to do, aside from find parking, was I needed to exchange one of the sweatshirts that I got. The problem with the sweatshirt was that there was like paint all over the side of it. I have no idea where that came from. Like, I just bought it. So I wanted to make sure to give plenty of headroom for that before I even actually go into the venue. By this time, it was probably about like 4:30ish, and traffic was already pretty hellish in that area. I was able to get in to the parking area that I wanted, and I'm glad I grabbed cash earlier, I should mention. So after getting kind of turned away from the first BCD Tofu House, or across the street from the BCD Tofu House, there was a Bank of America, I believe it was, and I decided that I was just gonna go run over and grab some cash just in case. And I'm glad I did, like I said before, because the parking area that I went to was cash only. It just worked out. It was also $20 more. For some reason, parking on Sunday was more expensive than parking on Saturday, which was
kind of weird in my opinion, because it's the same like venue, the same audience, the same everything, but it was $20 more everywhere. So instead of paying the $80, I parked a little further away, which wasn't all that far in my opinion, and paid $60. Grabbed my sweatshirt and went over back to the girl that actually served me yesterday to get the sweatshirt. And I was just like, hey, could I just exchange this out? And I was kind of worried because the day before they were really being strict on like trying on stuff before you buy it. But everything ended up being just fine. Like there was no problem. She just was like, yeah, sure. What size do you need? And I grabbed the same size, the extra large. Was able to get back to the car to toss my sweatshirt in there. I got two. I got a white one and a black one. And then I grabbed the Byongbong, I think is what it's called, the light stick. And I was able to go ahead and walk around. So I was kind of confused. I had floor tickets, but they had standard floor tickets and like a VIP. I didn't know if that meant like a VIP floor ticket, a standard floor ticket, and then a standard ticket. Like I actually walked around the entire stadium once and kind of saw everything that they were doing, which was pretty cool. It wasn't bad. Like it was just a good time. They set up a lot of like Blackpink type of photo areas so that you could go take photos. And then I walked up to one of the security members and asked, how do I get to the floor area? And she simply put that I was in the stand zone or standard area and needed to turn around and go back to pretty much where I came from. And so what I ended up doing was I just completed the loop because I was still early is the thing. It was only about like 5 o'clock ish, and they weren't going to let you in until 5:30 or 6 o'clock anyways. So I finished walking the loop and then walked over to where I was before and found the floor area and got in line. The security was pretty good. I would say that they were checking tickets at every corner. Like before I was even allowed to get in line, I actually had to present my tickets to show that I was in the right line, which I mean, that I think anyone should be grateful for. I would be really upset if I was standing in line and all of a sudden they're like, you're on the wrong line. That would definitely be a bummer. So I stood in line, went past the first checkpoint, then went over to the security checkpoint where you have to like empty out your pockets and everything and show them that you don't have either camera gear, like professional camera gear, or any like weapons or anything, like a metal detector is what I should be saying. So you had to go through the metal detector section. And after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. I was just waiting in line for the most part. And the lines moved pretty fast, and at least in my opinion. Oh, yeah, so after getting through security, from waiting to actually getting to my seat, I think it was only about a half an hour. So I couldn't really complain all too much. It was pretty good. And then the stadium was amazing. Like, it was so pretty. And I know that it's pretty new. The venue felt great, and the screens were super crispy and clear, and everything was the concert was amazing. Like, I don't know who had any issues with the concert, but like I have never been so close to, well, I guess at a stadium this size, I've never been so close. It literally felt like I could reach out and touch the stadium. It was really good. It was funny. We were so close that at points the people that were around me didn't realize that the girls were right there, like right in front of us, because they were paying attention to the screen. And rightfully so. Like I said, we had some like huge screens in front of us and they're super crispy. The thing was that it like made it to where you really had to pay attention to whether you were looking at the screen or looking at where the performers actually were. And that was kind of a cool problem to have. Like, I thought it was really awesome. And aside from that, like, sound was amazing. Like, I did bring my hearing protection, and rightly so. Again, it's like, I don't know who could have gone to this concert without that. It was thumping. Like, the folks that they had in the background working on all the programs for making sure that the speakers were on par, like the music was loud enough and the singing was loud enough. They did an amazing job. And like the bass, man, you could feel the bass. They actually had a band there. So someone on a keyboard, someone on drums, a guitarist, and a bassist. It was just really, really a good time all around. If this was one of their better concerts, I don't know. But if this was considered one of their worst concerts, like, then I'm like curious as to how much better could it have actually gotten. The amount of songs they did was pretty good. Now, they did start about a half an hour late, and it ended at about 10:30ish. So the concert in total was about 2 hours. It started at about 8:30 and ended around 10:30, a little earlier than that. This was one of those weird, like, encore times. I do hope that more performers start picking up what apparently JYP is what the girl that was sitting next to me was telling me, is that JYP tends to do this at their concerts. Like, twice did like a game show on stage, and ITZY, the one that I saw, they had a video where you were going to either dance, sing, or chant to kind of get the audience, keep them like warmed up and then keep them like roaring. Not having any of that, it's like, it's hard to go back to. I would say that there were a few times where chants started for like Blackpink or Encore, but they actually like died out pretty quickly, and you could kind of tell it wasn't that we didn't want the encore. It's just more along the lines of the first chant started up way too fast. Literally, the curtain came down and people started chanting immediately, and I was like, wow, yeah, give them a moment. But then at about maybe 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, they started chanting again. And so that also died out. And I think what they should have done was kind of how they began the concert, was just start playing music videos and like more of the same maybe. But once everything started quieting down again, and like the crowd wasn't kind of riled up anymore, which is a funny thing to say, it they then like came back on stage and like picked things up again. And it was kind of an awkward encore in that sense, because there was no chant or anything going on for them to come out at that time. But they came back and did about 3 more songs, I think, before ending the night. We, did the photos with everybody. Really just a great time. And then it was all about getting out of there. That was somewhat of a pain in the rear, as there were a lot of folks at the stadium. Luckily for me, I was actually going the opposite way than everybody else was going. When I got into the car and started driving back, there was horrible traffic going towards the stadium, or I want to say that it was westbound, and I wanted to go southbound. It's everyone was going westwards and I wanted to go south, and my freeway entrance was literally right across the street from my parking area. So after getting out of the parking lot, which that did take a little bit of time, maybe about 15 minutes, and I will say, yeah, it was probably about like 100 meters that I went. Like, it wasn't all that far, but it took quite a bit of time to do that. And then I had to cross 4 lanes of traffic, it was, to get into the left turn to make the right turn onto my freeway entrance. And once I got onto the freeway entrance, there was 0 traffic. And I don't know if I'm making it a habit, but I decided that I'll just go to In-N-Out and grab some food again for dinner. and got to In-N-Out at about I want to say about 11:15ish, 11:10, 11:15ish. Bummer there though was that they weren't all that busy, so I thought I was in like Flynn. But apparently the lady in front of me ordered a ton of food, like a massive amount of food. 2 large boxes of hamburgers and French fries, and I'm talking about like let's see, a foot deep, probably about 2 feet long, and then about a foot in width. So like they were hefty. There was a lot of hamburgers. But what ended up happening because of that is I had to wait a half an hour to get my cheeseburger, which is all I got, like a cheeseburger and fries. That kind of sucked because, like I said, I got there at about 11:10, 11:15ish, and then it's just right around the corner from my hotel. So I went back to the hotel and checked the time. It was 11:50 by the time I got back to my hotel room. And that was quite the bummer, to think that I was going to make it before 11:30 to my hotel room to eat, to take a shower, and then go to bed so I could wake up early. And yeah, that did not happen. So I got to the hotel room about 11:50, about midnight. I ate dinner, took a shower, and then went to bed. And this morning, when I woke up, it was like at about 9:45. I packed everything up, went downstairs and checked out, and decided that I was going to come out to Palm Springs to go to the Palm Springs aerial tram that I believe Red Velvet went to. And that's about a 2-hour drive from my hotel, with a little bit of traffic and me stopping to get a little bit of gas because I was practically out. I ended up getting there at about, I want to say 12:30. All said and done. Oh, also, I had to go do some stuff at the hotel while I was checking out to get the $100 deposit that I put on my credit card back, because they're not used to doing that. They're used to doing it cash only. Props to them for accepting my credit card to do that. And they also did a room check where they actually had to go to the room and look around the room and see what was what. So that took a little bit of time. But then I hopped out, came to Palm Springs, got to the aerial tram, where it was a 90-minute to 2-hour wait to go up the tram. Now, unfortunately, I have to return this car by 6 o'clock in LA. And if traffic is like what it is right now, I'd have to leave Palm Springs by 3 o'clock, because there was going to be an hour and a half to 2-hour wait from about 12:30ish is when I believe I arrived. I don't know if I said a different time earlier, but thinking about it now, it's like about 12:30, which would mean what, about 2 o'clock to 3 would be when I get up there, and then it's $12 for parking and $30 to go up. And I was planning on spending a couple hours there, but if I was to have to wait there at the bottom for the time that they're asking for, I would have then had to spend only about an hour up there. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's getting expensive. Then the guy at the gate, who I was talking to about all those plans, he was like, I asked him, can I make it back to LA by 6 if I go up right now? And he's like, what's at 6? I was like, well, I gotta like go to LAX. I gotta get onto a plane, rather than return the car. And he's like, that's risky, bro. And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, traffic right now might be really bad because it's a holiday week. And so I ended up not going up. I was like, I just turned around and came back. Now, on a side note, I was able to go to, I think it's called Grandma's Cafe, and that was in Barnable or something like that, the town right before Palm Springs. And this is the restaurant that Itzy went to when they came to Palm Springs in LA. So I was wondering if I could just go to the restaurant they went to and like just eat there, I guess, and have lunch, because I haven't eaten anything all day yet. And it was pretty much just go to try to get everything in order. I went in, it was exactly like it was on their YouTube show that they did, and grabbed corned beef hash breakfast, which is one of my personal favorites, and a cup of coffee, which was my first cup of coffee for the day. And then was looking up Lao Shu Noodle House to go try to pick up some dumplings that Lynn likes. Unfortunately, between 2:30 and 5, they're closed for like prep for dinner prep. The only problem with that is that it is a solid half an hour drive from Lao Shu to where I need to drop off this car, and this car is due at 6. I did not want to make that mistake of not only being late to picking up the car, but then again being late to dropping off the car. I mean, that one I think is just more rude, to drop off the car late. That being said, I was like, oh man, so I'm not gonna be able to pick up Lao Shu for Lynn. And so today pretty much has just been one kind of hit after another of just like not being able to do things. And so live and learn, I guess, but I'm like looking at the time, it's 3 o'clock. So like I'll have plenty of time when I get there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I put McKinley Street in as the place that I want to go visit. So that's what I have right here. I have about half an hour before I'll be there. I did fill the tank to full, so like I'm sitting pretty happy on that. There's a gas station across the street from the place I have to drop this off, so once I finish up at the McKinley area, I'll go ahead and drive back over, fill up one more time, and then yeah, I guess I'll just bounce from there, go to the airport, start getting ready. But I think right now I have an abundance of time, which is kind of nice. The half an hour from where I'm currently at to the Venice area, I think they're very close together, is it's a hard red. So, and I do see traffic in front of me, so maybe it'll maybe I made the right choice. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to miss or skip any type of business traffic if I can. I'd rather not have to go about and do that. And so we'll see what happens here. But yeah, so far, what a crazy day. Anyhow, at least the concert was good. I'll probably check in at least one more time before I end this one. So.
All right. And so, after that driving portion, I am now at SFO. I never made it to Abbott Kinley, or Kinney. I know I said McKinley earlier, but I meant to say Abbott Kinney. I went to Randy's Donuts instead. I'm actually kind of glad I did too, because I made it to the gas station where I was gonna top off the gas for the car before I returned it, and I noticed the guy was waiting in the lot for his car back. And so what ended up happening was I just topped off like I said I was going to, and then at that gas station I found out they had tanks there for some reason. I have no idea why, but got a quick shot of the tanks as well, which just like shocking, really. But I ended up talking to the guy for about 10-15 minutes before trying to get a Uber to go to the airport. It's about a little bit after 6 o'clock now. So the thing is that my plane was supposed to take off at 8:30. Yeah, that didn't happen. I mean, I'm kind of used to American Airlines being delayed now, but they were delayed by an hour. So my worries were kind of unfounded. But the thing is that I couldn't get an Uber or a Lyft from where I dropped off the car to get me to the airport. It ended up, I had to call the LA Yellow Cab to get a car. And it was $40, which is fine, I don't care. Got me to the airport right on the nick of time so that I had a little bit more than an hour to get through security for the original flight. Now, I already checked in, so I wasn't concerned about that, which is kind of cool. But I did have to get through security. LAX is not the greatest at security. And it ended up, after getting in, I was talking to Lynn. I'm trying to get some food when she got here, but they ended up saying that they were going to be late by an hour. So I ended up just eating a sandwich, a Cubano sandwich from one random stall that was over there. But I ended up just watching YouTube and waiting for the flight. And then the flight was fast. Got here to San Francisco. And I think this is really where I'm gonna end it. That is a crazy weekend in LA. Good stuff. Anyhow, we'll see you in the next vid.
listen to my money talk. You know I like it. Yeah, wanna me, wanna see green, wanna see green, let me go. Give me what the hell I want. Give me what the hell I want. The money making bank account number. That's the shit that's never getting bounced. So yeah, bitch, I do the money this. I just made 100 this. When it's close inside for it, I'ma leave my autograph. Dollar bills, watch it falling for me. I love the way it feels. Dollar bills, keep on falling for me. I love the way it feels. Some money, dropping some money. Some money, off the stars so yummy. Twerking, when I buy the things I like. Dollars, dropping on my ass tonight.